you're being overprotective, you will make him a victim, kind of, okay? Because he won't know how to assert himself. In the school, they have to, or they should, their role is to intervene as soon as there's an aggression, okay? So it's not even waiting till the intimidation. If you teach your child social and emotional competencies, it will help the author of the intimidation, it will help the witness, the acolyte, and the victim. So it will help all everybody on the scene of the aggression.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast. This is a co-production between aidersonenfant.com and la Fondation Jeunes en Tête. Today, we are talking about the subject that's on everybody's lips, intimidation.
Mental health challenges. For over 20 years now, la Fondation Jeunes en Tête has offered mental health awareness workshops all over Quebec's high schools. La Fondation now offers mental health kits for families, youth, and school staff. Free, simple, and lively scientifically validated content to reduce psychological distress. To find out more, go to fondationjeunesentete.org.
I have the pleasure of interviewing Julie Boissonneaux, who is a PhD student associated to the Chaire Bien-être à l'école et prévention de la violence and an expert at the Comité québécois pour les jeunes en difficultés de comportement. Julie, thank you for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Well, Julie, I think we need to start by addressing what is intimidation. I know we talk about it often, but I still want us to define it. How would you define it?
Yeah. A lot has been said on intimidation, and many definitions exist on this phenomenon. The fact that we use intimidation to define conflict, aggression, or bullying may be confusing sometimes. But what we need to know is that intimidation happens when there are 4 of these conditions, okay? First, it's a repetition of the aggression. Second, that it has been lasting for a certain period of time, so it's not a single incident. Third, there has to be an imbalance of power between the author and the victim of the intimidation, whether it's social or physical. And fourth, the victim has to feel distress or fear and doesn't know how to make the aggression stop.
I've been feeling that we've been labeling many situations as intimidation when it might just be a conflict. What's the difference between the two?
Well, a conflict is when 2 people or many people disagree on a subject. And the conflict happens when they have different opinion, different point of view, but they feel free to express themselves and their opinion in it, okay? The difference is when someone from the conflict feel that he is being not bullied, but yes,
targeted
by someone else, and they feel fear and distress and they don't know how to answer. So that could be an aggression, and then aggression leads to intimidation. Well, but conflicts are not always intimidation.
And what would be the different types of intimidation? You know, there's the face-to-face one, but there are many other ones.
Yes, in fact, you can difference 2 types of aggression, I would say, because first of all, you need to difference aggression between intimidation. Aggression happens individually, like one aggression toward a person.
Okay.
It can be direct or indirect. And the repetition of these aggressions makes intimidation, you know? So aggression can be either direct and indirect. Direct aggression is face-to-face. As you said, physical and verbal. It's easier to notice. It's easier to intervene on a face-to-face direct aggression because you see them. You see the bully and you see the victim. Whereas you have the more subtle way that is indirect. Indirect can be social. So it can be rumor spreading, it can be ostracizing, it can be also material where you will sabotage someone else's belonging or steal someone else's belonging. And it can be electronic. So it can involve your tablet, your phone, your computer, and social media.
A teen is sending nudes to someone. Is that a form of intimidation, you would say?
Well, sending your own nudes, is not a form of intimidation. But if you share someone else's nudes, yes. Well, and what I want to mention here is that in the case of sharing private pictures on the internet, it can be subject to criminal penalties. Acts such as publishing information that damage someone else's reputation, or acting or saying words or gesture that will frighten someone else on the internet. Yes, you can have criminal penalties. And I think that it's important for parents to be informed of these forms of aggression that can lead to sanctions, so that they can teach their child how to behave on the internet and how to not face these sanctions, actually, because they don't erase at 18 years old. It doesn't go away.
Julie, when we use the internet to share something negative about someone, does it automatically become intimidation because it might have a big impact?
Yes, I would say most of the time, and generally yes, because internet is all about the repetition of the content. You know, when you post something or you publish something, a comment or a picture, someone else will look at it and will like it, will share, will transfer it forward. So that becomes a repetition of the aggression.
And then it can become viral.
Yes, and it's so much easier to do it on the internet than it is to do it face to face or with people like in the school, like just talking, you know, and spreading rumor. So there's the repetition of the aggression on the internet, and there's also the permanence of the information that makes it harder for the victim to kind of overcome this aggression, this intimidation, because you never know that as a victim, you never know when it's going to come up, from who, and from where.
So because people can share it until the end of time, pretty much. So we're under the impression, or at least I am, that intimidation is everywhere. There's a lot of it. Is that just an impression, or is there really much more than there was?
I would say it's more of an impression because it's all over the place, okay? On the media, on the net, even people talk more about it because we're more sensitive to intimidation than we used to be, let's say, a few decades back. And the fact that we're more sensitive to it makes us more aware of it as well.
Yeah, for sure.
The research that are made on the level of, I would say, school violence, even in Quebec, says that it's either stable or it's lower than it used to be, and that's because all of the programs that have been installed over the years.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, Julie, thank you so much for this. In the next segment, together, we will address the different roles in a scene of intimidation.